heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, why do you need to know how to build trust and rapport when it comes to sales, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silverman, coming to you live for HVAC technician sales secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Doesn't matter if you're a technician, doesn't matter if you're a salesperson, all these rules apply. And heads up, I'm going to share some items that are pretty counterintuitive than what you've been taught by other sales trainers, okay? So trust matters. It is the foundation of a successful sale. A lot of times when people bounce out and they give you an objection of like, I want to think about it, I got to talk to other people, I'm getting other bids, it's a smokescreen. Like there was something you did, something you said, something you didn't do, something you didn't say, and this is why you really need to map out your sales process. So at the end of the day, trust builds rapport and loyalty because people are like, hey, I can trust this. Like one of the biggest complaints in home services, roofing, plumbing, electrician, heating and air, is I just want to find a company that I can trust that's going to tell me the truth. Because unfortunately, there's some freaking scumbags out there that make stuff up. Don't make stuff up. You don't have to. Don't be a scumbag, right? Rule number 1 in HVAC, tell the truth. Don't be a scumbag, right? That builds trust. That builds rapport. Trust over time builds to higher client satisfaction. It's just straightforward. It's just easy. And if you really want a great book is called Speed of Trust by Stephen M. R. Covey. The dude is an expert in trust. Like, why would you not read that book? If you're a salesperson or a technician, for the $15 that it's going to cost you to get a book, like it's super well worth it. So once again, don't make anything up. You don't have to. There's no reason to lie, cheat, or steal. If you really want to build trust, whether you're a technician or a salesperson, you really want to have a scripted door approach, right? You want a consistent sales process. You want to do the things over and over and over again in a similar method. And your first 30 seconds count. Your first 30 seconds. Like, even like when you watch a YouTube video, you may have been like, I've never met this Scott Silverman guy. I don't know about him. He's got an Aloha shirt on and a jacket, and he's got waves in the background. He's talking about heating and air. He's not a service van. Like, that can work against me. You may not trust me if you don't know that I was a corporate sales trainer for 10 years and helped the company go from $10 to $50 million. You may not know that I was a comfort advisor in the early 2000s. In my first year, I sold $1 million when that was a big deal. You may not know that I was a technician after being a comfort advisor and sold $1 million my first year as being a senior tech. So I didn't start the video like, so look at me, I got credibility, right? It was like, hey, look, here's some things that you need to know. At the end of the day, there's multiple door scripts. The master door script was created in the early 90s, and a lot of companies have made some copied version of it or retreaded it and actually just copied it, word for word. So whatever version you're going to use, most door approaches work. Some of them need some elements. Some of them need to have some things taken away. But here's the thing. You can't get bored with your door approach. It cannot be boring. It's got to be like you are there giving it the first time. Hey, my name's Scott with XYZ Company. Is it okay where I parked my van? Fantastic. Says Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You go by Mr. and Mrs. Smith. What do you go by? Cool. Is it all right if I let myself in? Have any small animals? Can we get started at the thermostat? Hey, now we're at the thermostat. Would you mind sharing with me how it works? Fantastic. There's usually a 2-minute delay in every thermostat. Why don't we do this? Why don't we go over the book? Hi, I'm Scott. I work for XYZ Company. Here's a couple things about the company, a couple things about the owner. We use straightforward pricing. Straightforward pricing is going to fall into one or more of these categories. You're going to be okay. You're going to be good. We have these memberships that are awesome. They'll really help you out. And occasionally we have specials. And if by chance that I don't give you 5-star service, will you let me know before I leave? Right? That script I was using in 2006, 2007. That script is one that I practiced tens of thousands of times. That script, word for word, I don't have to think about it. It's automatic. Now, if I gave that presentation like that, a person would be like, what are you on crack? You're talking way too fast, right? You are an actor when it comes to sales. You have lines that you got to do. That's your script. Actors have lines. Like, you have to know these things, okay? I can continue on. It's okay if I let myself in and out. If I notice anything of concern, you want me to make a note and bring it back to you? Like, I can give you the whole freaking door approach script, and I probably have tons of video on this YouTube channel about that. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication, HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training, and occasionally I sell stuff, right? So you need to confirm a couple of things, and you may have a presentation book, you may have a tablet. Time, I'm going to be here for 60 to 90 minutes. We got the time, money. Our dispatch fee is $79, $99, $149, $249, $349, $599. I don't know what you do for a dispatch fee. In and out, you got any pets? Can we be on a first name basis? I'm Scott. What do you want me to call you? Bob, fantastic Bob. I will call you Bobo, right? And then talk about your membership plan. Talk about your membership plan. Like get the first no out of the way. You need to understand your client, okay? And this comes from active listening to truly understand what's going on. And you can use the repeat and approve method in sales. What I hear you saying, what I heard you say, am I correct when I say this? This is what you told me. This is what you shared with me. You can do it whatever way you want. You're going to pick your own way to say it, okay? Empathy and compassion, connect with them with your expertise. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's you just sitting there listening, right? I'm going to give you a prime example, right? Got to give it to you this way. Sometimes women, when they complain, they got to say the same thing like 5, 6, 7, 8 times until they go, it's not going to be that subtle. It'll be like, and then you can talk, especially if they had a bad experience with your company or with a competitor. Ask questions, take notes, give me an idea. What's happened? Where's this going on? Which rooms don't get enough airflow? Who's got allergies? Be very specific, but you need to have these mapped out. Build a genuine connection. This is where, this part's going to be super counterintuitive, and I'm going to let you know this. But please tell the truth. Don't make stuff up. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. You don't have to. Let people know, listen, here's how I operate. Here's what's I'm going to let you know everything that's going on, but I got to go through the entire system first, right? If you're in sales, if you're a technician, go through everything first before you make any type of suggestions, because it'll come back to bite you, I promise. How do I know? Because when I was a salesperson, it bit me. When I was a technician, it bit me too. Have active problem skills. Okay, we can probably solve that, but I've still got a little bit more work I got to do. I'm not done with my investigation. I still got some things I got to take a look at. And have service in your heart, right? I learned this preeminence from Jay Abraham. Have service in your heart. Be willing to help people. Sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes people get on the phone with me and they just want to extract information. I got to call them out. Hey, look, I'm a consultant, right? You got to put some money in the tank for me to get that. Sometimes you're going to lose. There's times when people get one over and on me. You know what I do? Next. Time to move on. Now, here's the part I promise you that is counterintuitive, that most sales trainers get backwards. Common ground goes wrong, right? You like spaghetti? Oh, I like spaghetti. You like the ocean? I like the ocean. You like Red Spooner Aloha shirts? I love Red Spooner Aloha shirts. You know what the better thing is to do? Ask some questions about them, right? I promise you, you ever get lost in the woods, have to take a helicopter ride, have to take an ambulance, that ambulance driver, that helicopter driver, that boat, the boat captain is not going to be like, oh, you've been lost in the water? I've been lost too. Oh, you've been lost in the woods? I've been lost in the woods. What they do is they just sit there and listen. Oh man, that's got to suck. What happened? Tell me about that. Give me an idea. Get into their world. Let them be the hero. Let them tell you what's going on. And then here's the thing. There is a superpower of nonverbal communication, which also known as body language. Body language. I want to share something with you. In 2007, 2008, I was the first person in the freaking industry to talk about body language, nonverbal communication, and even teach technicians how to have better body language. There's other people now. I'm still better, right? We should build some rapport, right? I'm awesome. I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's what my mom says. Eye contact, okay? So if you're going to talk about eye contact, here's what's going to happen. I'm looking at you, and then let's say that you're the client. You are going to break to the right, to the left, or down. That tells me your comfort zone, and it's going to be based upon different things, men, woman, nationality, right? There are different people who have different types of eye contact that want eye contact, but here's what you do. 3 times. Solid eye contact, count, 2001, 2002, oh, they look over. 2001, 2002, oh, they look over. 2001, 2002, 2003. That means that with your nonverbal communication skill, your body language, you are going to never break down, right? Especially with women, it's never down. It's to the right or to the left. So if I'm talking to you and you're telling me, hey, Scott, I like spaghetti, I'm like, that's fantastic. I'm going to actively look to my left and look down to break eye contact, and then I'm going to come back up and come over and see you, right? Some people like 3 seconds, some people like 5 seconds, some people like 8 seconds, some people like 10 seconds. But you're going to know when somebody's uncomfortable. Now, here's the other thing. When you walk into somebody's frame, I am 6'2", almost 300 pounds. I freaking can scare women, and I have to be aware of this. So if I step towards a woman and they step back, No. Don't keep walking forward. They're freaking scared. Like you gotta pay attention to these nonverbal communications. Now here's the thing. Your hands matter. Dudes, we work on stuff. I've got a car out on the lot over here that I'm working on changing the transmission, right? My hands get dirty. We kind of expect that. Women do not think about this in the same way that dudes do, okay? Women think about don't touch my towels in the bathroom and don't touch me. Don't touch me, don't touch my towels. So if you're cleaning and someone says, hey, can you come talk to me for a second? Like, let me go wash my hands real quick. And then wash them in the outside, but not in the sink. Get them all cleaned up, get them all nice, get them all pretty, or wear gloves, okay? The power of voice. So some people are very boring. Some people are overly excited and they get way too pumped up. And then some people use their voice as a scalpel and not as a sledgehammer, okay? So pay attention to your nonverbal communications, how far away you are, your eye contact, and then be aware that you're not really supposed to touch people. I know this sounds crazy, but you can get away from like your shoulder blade to your elbow. Men, women, you're going to be okay. Like anything else, don't do it. So if you want to turn some trust into sales, tailor your solutions. Like, don't go into the door saying, I got to get them my platinum piece of equipment. There's people who don't need your platinum. They would probably be good with the bronze or whatever you call it. There's times where I would meet with people and they'd be like, hey, the guy in front of me told me I needed all these bells and whistles. I'm like, you have a 2-ton unit. You have the lowest consumption of energy with an energy efficient furnace and a standard piece of equipment. Right? You don't need all those bells and whistles. You don't. And some people are like, hey, Scott, you should try to sell top dollar. Remember, I'm talking about trust. And sometimes commission, actually all the time, commission comes second. Trust comes first. You got the trust, you're going to get the commission. Build a long-term relationship. Go beyond the sale and do some communication. So here's what happens. I was a sales manager for a while. I had 22 salespeople who worked underneath. I trained 66 technicians. I had some senior techs or some selling techs, whatever you call them at your place, and people would come back and go, hey, Scott, your dude made it seem like he was going to come back and barbecue with me, and I never ever saw him again, and I know he got paid, I know he got commission, and I'm frustrated. Go back to every one of your jobs. Go back to them. I promise you. If 75,000 people watch this video, okay? 75,000 people watch this video, 7.5 people will go back and have conversations after a job is sold. It's night and day. It's night and day. Like, if I had a competitor company right now, I'm like, I own Scott Belco, and I go over to Jimco, and I'm like, hey, you want to be better at sales? Just go back to your freaking jobs and ask for a referral. Scott, that's insane. We're not going to do it. I'd rather count money. Okay. Hands off. You want to build trust. You do have to work with some people, have some really good conversations. Right? It takes time, energy, and effort. And if you speed through a sell, you're going to lose trust. Just like if you camp out way too long. You got one of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.